unwelcome. When overextended mothers and fathers heard the fetch's bell, they came running out, boy children in their arms, struggling, and paid the cartman to take them to the master, where they might find work. So were these burdens almost by alchemy turned into regular coin, which the fetch also delivered, for a cut. Nathan watched as coins were given, children taken, coins taken, children returned. Then he turned his back on it all and went on. The further he walked from his home, the less the drumbeat of the sea wall troubled his ears. There was something in the sheer volume of that noise, up close, which lessened the other senses and bowed the posture. But when Nathan came gradually onto the strand, where it intersected the promenade and led towards the circus, he was a little straighter than he had been, a little taller, and much more alert. There were other slum dwellers here too, so there was more to be alert to, both good and bad. Up ahead was a bonfire 10 feet high. Nathan stopped to warm himself. A man, scarred and stooped, splashed rendered fat at the flames, feeding them, keeping the endless rainwater from putting the wood out. On the pyre was an effigy of the mistress, crouched obscenely over the top, her legs licked with fire, her arms directing unseen firebirds. Her face was an ugly scowl painted on a perished iron bucket, her eyes 2 rust holes. Nathan picked up a stone and threw it. It arced high and came down, clattering the mistress, tipping her head over. People came to the strand to sell what bits of stuff they had to others who had the wherewithal to pay. The sellers raised themselves out of the mud on old boxes and sat with their wares arranged neatly in front of them on squares of cloth. If he'd had the money, Nathan could have got string and nets and catapults and oddments of flat glass and sticks of meat, don't ask of what. Today there was a glut of liquor, sold off cheap in wooden cups, from barrels marked with the red merchant crest. There was no way this had been come by legally. The merchants kept a firm grip on their stock and didn't sell into the slums, so it was either stolen or salvaged. Drinkers wouldn't know either way until it was drunk. If it was stolen, then buyers got nothing worse than a headache the next day, but if it was salvaged, then that was because it was bad and had been thrown overboard to be washed up portside. Bad liquor made you blind. Nathan wouldn't have bought it anyway. He didn't like the taste. And he had no coins and nothing much to barter with except his pillowcase and the handkerchief in his pocket. So he joined the other marching children, eyes to the floor, watching out for movement in the living mud. He didn't recognize anyone, but he wasn't looking. It was best to keep your distance and mind your own business. What if one of them took notice and snatched whatever was in your bag on the way home? There were some coming back, bags wriggling. Others' bags were still but heavy. A few had nothing but tears in their eyes, too cowardly probably to venture deep enough into the mud. Nathan could have stolen from those who had made a catch, grabbed what they had and run, but he wasn't like that. He didn't need to be. As he got closer, the itch pricked at his fingertips. It knew, the itch, when and where it was likely to be used, and it wasn't far now. Do not spark, not ever. His father used to stand over him when Nathan was very small, serious as he wagged his finger, and Nathan was a good boy. But even good boys do wrong now and again, don't they? Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between good and bad anyway, between right and wrong. His father needed medicine, and the itch wanted to be used. Above, a stray firebird struggled up into the clouds, weighed down by a man hanging limp below it. The strand widened. The street vendors became fewer. Here was a crowd, nervous,